Hello everybody, welcome back to Dominions 5. Let's continue our late age TNG game. This should be an exciting turn. We're storming Lemuria. And I actually... Alright, so it looks like he poked out a little bit. I actually changed my script a little bit. And I wanted to... so let me actually tell you what I did. Oh, interesting. So he's patrolling outside with his god and everything. Let's see what he has planned. Looks like he's going to try to steal as many of my sacreds as possible. I'm not sure what he's going to do here with what spell he's going to cast. But before we even look at this battle, I changed my script a little bit. Because I have like a Earth guy here, an Earth 2 guy, and I had I'd kind of forgotten about that, and I've gotten Construction 4, so I have Construction 3, which allows us to do Legions of Steel. So he's doing some in Earth power, then Legions of Steel. And I've also got my Astral mages. I got a couple of mages that have some Astral paths. They are on the side. They're going to do just a couple of body ethereals on these guys, and then these guys are doing like a hold and attack rear, so that maybe a couple of these guys could actually go through the fort walls and get to the rear. That's what I'm hoping for. And then I also had a bunch of my nature mages do a couple rounds of protection before we attack. But looks like he's decided to fight outside the walls, which is interesting. So I'm really curious to see what... actually, we're going to do colors here because he's probably going to steal a few of my sacred. So let's see what happens here. So stole it from... Let's see. What he cast. Air shield. Okay. Oh no. Oh shit. He cast air shield, but he just got murdered. Oh my god, he cast it. So air shield has an 80% chance. To block an arrow, but he just got nailed anyways. Wow. That's rough. Now, I want to actually point something out here, which is... hang on, let's watch this again quickly. The beginning. I've actually preached down his dominion on his capital quite a lot. So he has no dominion bonus. And in fact... he's got no candles here. Right? Because if he had candles, then because we're fighting with his pretender, all his guys would be blessed, but they're not blessed. And the pretender would have the bless on him too, which... he's the prophet, so the prophet here is automatically blessed, right? So the bless is undead regen awe recuperation. So we should be seeing awe on this guy, but he doesn't have it because I preached away all his candles. Okay, anyway, so let's see how the rest of this fight goes. I have a couple guys running towards the back here. Just two guys in the back is a little bit scary. Yeah, we lost one. So my guys just being on fire is not ideal for like this kind of combat, and I'm suffering a bit of friendly fire here. But Wind Guide is helping a lot to reduce to reduce potential friendly fire casualties. Oh, we routed him, which is nice. So, I had my guys set up for like a siege battle. I didn't think he would come out and fight, which is why I had my guys on fire. I wanted them to really use their howling bows to the maximum effect. But the end result is that we did cause some friendly fire by shooting the sacreds in the front. Man, yeah, his pretender just got wrecked. All right, I'll finish him up here, and that should be that. Okay, so we lost 14. Yeah, and you can see actually that. So Idimu got a couple, but he also killed like some free spawn and stuff at the end. But a lot of this was friendly fire. Okay, then let's see what happens in here. There's literally nothing left, so that's all he had. So I'm curious why he didn't choose to fight this in the fort, to be honest. I don't know if it would have made a huge difference. But yeah, that's what happens. We lost another 2, probably to friendly fire once again. Okay, so we have taken Lemuria. This here was the battle against the barbarians. Nice, we got her out. Remember, the Howling Bows do fear damage, so we caused a lot of morale issues on these guys, which is, combined with obviously dealing damage, but each hit can do up to 5 morale damage. All right. Got a curse. Hero enchantment is done. Excellent. So that's it for Lemuria. I'm going to confirm with Pan, but it looks like he's going to take this underwater province since he's built up all the shamblers. I obviously would have taken it myself, right? I've got shamblers here that I can recruit, but he's been recruiting a bunch of them, and I'm okay with him taking it for now. Look, we might end up fighting eventually, but for now we'll just let that be. We are, by the way, playing with a mod. We play these games in this community with a bunch of mods standard. The ones that we use are improved casting AI, which helps make the there are many videos. I've talked about this a long time ago. We've been using this mod for a long time. This is Lucid's mod. But it basically makes mages cast less dumb things after you script. Mostly, it reduces by a lot the chance that a mage will cast like a buff after the script. So, for example, astral mages tend to have the problem that they will go and do body ethereal for like 15 turns until every single troop is ethereal before actually doing like soul slay, so things like that. Then the gem gens. But the one I wanted to point out is Rebirth. And what Rebirth does is it's just a small mod, and it allows for provinces that are down in population to like below 2,000 population. There's like an accelerated growth curve so that the population can regrow back to about 2,000. Obviously, population will grow if you have growth scales. But what it does is it kind of multiplies that growth percentage for if the number is below 2,000. I think it's 2,000. I'm saying that off the top of my head. And I think the scaling is even higher the lower you are, the closer you are to 0. And we put it in because we're playing with Lemuria, and when you're playing with Lemuria and Relay, so it doesn't actually help the pop kill nations themselves because their dominion will continuously suppress that population. So it doesn't at all help the pop kill nations. But what it does mean is that people who conquer the pop kill nations will have their have a chance to like make something out of those provinces so they can give a little bit of income and importantly like a little bit of recruitment points and things like that so that you can actually use the provinces, because if you don't do this you basically can't use the provinces that you conquer, and it makes it really hard to ever want to do anything against pop kill nations. So I think it's actually a really good addition to the game because one there are Dominion is a very asymmetrical game, but and so it is legit that the pop kill nations. It's true that one of their defensive strengths is the fact that you don't want to attack them because it's not very appealing to attack them, but it's kind of excessive too in a sense that it makes it really, really hard to ever want to do that. I don't know. In my experience playing the game, I feel that this kind of slight mod, because it's only going to boost up the population a little bit back up to 2,000. I think that makes the flow of the game much better in terms of diplomacy and how you handle the pop kill nations. Anyways, so that's done. So the question is, what do we do now? Well, this turn, I think we want to get a temple here. So let's do that. Let's just get all these. Let's get all these things sorted. Yes, we don't need a second commander here. Let's get another sacred. That gives us 289. Let's save a bit more gold by not having an ancestor smith here. We could just do a warrior of the way. 374 gold. We got our first crystal mage. Earth 2, Astral 2, a fantastic mage. I'm not sure if we can get a temple here this turn. So maybe what we'll do instead, because we're also not recruiting here a mage out of this province this turn because we can't afford it. So what if instead we did this and, just had people recruiting and whatever, preaching. I'm going to worry about my army in a moment. I haven't decided quite what we're going to do with it. And then next turn we could build the temple here. I think we could do that. Yeah, and let's put PD in here again. Oh, we were going to site search with this guy. We also need to finish this site searching. Here, this will be site searching. We are going to build our Dwarven Hammer. Start building Dwarven Hammers. So that is built. Research, you can research. We don't have a lot of earth gems, so we really can't afford to be building like a second Dwarven Hammer forging dude. We're just gonna have him research. Have them research for now. Okay, air death. I guess we're moving here. All right, let's take a quick look at my site searching here. We've got somehow this province I have not searched at all. Okay. We're doing pretty good. I'm intending to have at least 2 searched everywhere. So pretty good, actually. I think maybe we'll take let's get some site searching going off of these guys, so we can put a squad together with. Let's see. We would have death, earth, nature, water, air. That's taking a lot of mages though. I wonder if we have. Oh, good. Well, but that doesn't give us astral 2. This guy could do astral 2 and water 2. Then that would give us astral, water, air, death, nature, earth. I mean, that's a lot of mages, but let's make that happen. To just kind of site search these provinces down here that we haven't quite searched yet. So let's do that. Okay, so first of all, let's we don't need the air gems here anymore. You probably don't need a guy guarding you. Question mark. So let's get these 3 folks. So the only thing here that's missing is going to be water and astral, which I'll try to combine. So let's have these guys like this. Honestly, it's possible that they will... Oh, I hit the wrong key. My bad. Let's make this just some number so I can do this faster. Just in case there's some random indie event. Okay, so that'll set up site searching. Let's have these guys wait just a moment. I would like to get a con to pick these guys up. I think we can afford it. Okay, so now the question becomes, where do we go next? So I'm thinking of going west. Maybe Man. Maybe Pangea? I don't know. I'm going to have to feel out to get a feeling for where Pangea stands diplomatically. So I'm going to reach out to him and see what his plans are. I feel like Man, just in the diplomatic relations I had, Man seems much more interested in having long-term peace. On the one hand, that means that I would feel more comfortable going to war with Pangea and not being interfered with by Man. And in fact, Man might even choose to help and jump onto Pangea. So that's a possibility. On the other hand, if I go to war with Pangea, part of what I'm gaining is these garbage Lemuria lands. Right, it's going to be harder for me logistically to push into his core and his valuable lands. Now, he does have some nice things all the way down here. Geographically, this feels a bit more awkward. Now, alternatively, I think Man is in a weaker position, possibly. So, okay, in terms of, let's actually talk about the matchups here. Man, the main thing I'm worried about for Man is not so much their super high quality troops, although those are scary. But they're just human troops, and my Sacreds with my Bless are actually going to kind of wreck his guys. We have pretty good research, actually. So that's something we can totally deal with. Plus, in fact, he's not using, I haven't seen him use the quote-unquote correct troops. I mean, I think the tower guards and the defenders are the best troops, or the defender specifically, which are the higher quality ones. I saw him use knights and longbows. That's just going to get wrecked by my unit composition, by my sacreds. So, and then his mages are scary, because he has these Air 2, Earth 1, Astral 1 with random paths on top of that. So it's scary because either it could be big air elementals or because it could be Storm, which Storm would be a good counter to my archers. Storm and then Thunderstrike. However, the fact that all his mages are Astral 1 means he's incredibly vulnerable to me bringing all of these guys and doing Magic Duel. And we have enough random Astral 1s. Obviously, I wouldn't use the Cat Mages, but I would use any of these guys that are Astral 1, and I would use these guys. And I think in a big army engagement, we would... like, these guys are... I mean, it's just worth spending 115 gold. It's a toss-up, right? It's a coin flip. So 115 gold, and either, like... 50% of the time I lose this guy, 50% of the time I kill his mage, but his mage is much more valuable than my mage. His mages are kind of like my ancestor smiths in terms of like their value. I think they're more expensive. I think they're 270 if I remember correctly. So I feel kind of confident about that fight. Now Pangea is an astral nation, and they have earth nature dudes. And Pangea is rolling around with a bunch of cataphracts, these heavy cataphracts, and he's got some sacreds. I didn't quite see what his bless was. Actually, I should move the scout here to see this last fight. I think in terms of units, I will still do fine against him. I don't know. Both of these are matchups I could take. Now, if I was going to fight them, what kind of tech would I do? I'm getting Alteration 5 for Wooden Warriors. I think my options are either go to Alteration 7. In Alteration 7, I would be able to do Mass Protection and Fog Warriors because I can kind of communion up. I can take like this guy, for example. Right, Air 2. So Power of the Spheres is going to be Air 3, and then I just do like a tiny communion. Honestly, just boost him up to Air 4, or I could put 2 slaves in Air 5, whatever. And just Fog Warriors. And they'll all pass out, but it's fine. They just need to cast the one spell, right? So that is a very strong move. On the other hand, we could do Enchantment 6 to get Arrowfend, especially if we're going against Man. Now, that would give me what? Like, what else would I do down here? Eternal Pyre is something I would love to cast eventually with my discount site, but I have to, let's see, to do Eternal Pyre. No, I need Construction 6 to do it because I need to forge the item and the hat to get me to Fire 6. So Eternal Pyre isn't happening anytime soon. Anything else in low enchantment here that I need that will make this worth it? Oh, Flaming Arrows, but I don't have any other fire mages, so that's not going to be really relevant for a while. Anti-magic would be nice, but that's something I could just grab real quick. Enchantment 4. What would be good? I don't have poison resistance, so we're not going to do Foul Vapors. So what's nice about going down Alteration 7 is that I think there's a great synergy there between Alteration 7 and then after that going down to Conjuration 7 for the Wrath of the Ancestors. Because then I could do Wrath of the Ancestors and then Fog Warriors on top. And that's when stuff gets really crazy because you do Wrath of the Ancestors, then the alteration buffs are great with that because mass protection, Fog Warriors, and then even Will of the Fates, which is an even better buff to put on top of everybody. So that might be the thing, guys. And since that might be the thing, and honestly, it's going to be good versus man because I'm not too afraid of his longbows. What scares me more would be if he were using the defenders, but he doesn't appear to be using them. So let's pencil that in as our plan. Alteration 7, and then we can work down. I mean, this will undoubtedly change. But for now, let's get that started as our plan. I think the next order of business is... And the other thing, too, is I should... Yeah, these Springhawks are pretty nasty, but I could, like... do I have a scout here? Yeah. Let me just ping this real quick. Actually, this guy will probably die because of the Springhawks. But let's look at the possibility of taking this throne. If there aren't too many Springhawks, I could just bring enough dudes and have them like hold attack flyers and just take a few hits, but just murder all the flyers. And then, the rest of this I'd kill probably easily. So let's take a look at how many we have here. That might be like an interim goal as we finish this war here. So actually, let's leave the prophet out here. Let's bring the bulk of the army. Okay, we can leave the prophet with his... Well, no, the archers don't need to be with the prophet. That doesn't really make sense. We're just going to leave the prophet so he can preach up our dominion on the front lines a little bit. And let's bring the troops back just to a more central location so I can redeploy to wherever I intended to go next. And in fact, let's bring at least one priest with them. All right, that works for now. We now have incredible death income. We're going to spend those death gems mostly, I think, on research items. And work our way up to... Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Work our way to Alteration 7. We'll actually be able to do... we can actually do Darkness, because our guys all have Spirit Sight. Our Sacred guys have Spirit Sight. That's actually something I hadn't thought about, but we could definitely pull that off. Because all you need is like a Death 2 with a Skull Staff is going to be Death 3. And maybe we give him like a Crystal Shield, or maybe we have... Wait, do we have Death 2s with Astral? I'm sure we can, right? These guys are Death 2 and they could be Astral. So a Death 2 with Astral could also pull it off. But we can also do it with a Crystal Shield or something like that. And yeah, that would give us... Darkness is another reason to go down here. Yeah, I like it. Okay, yeah, let's go. Let's do Alteration. Let's do that. Let that be our plan for now, which hopefully doesn't change too much due to, exigent circumstances. If suddenly, I don't know, Utgard decides to attack us or whatever, we'll see what happens. So that's going to be it for now. I'm glad that the Lemuria situation was handled. Honestly, guys, I think this is I kind of advocate this in all the games, but if you have a popkill nation, I think this is kind of a textbook example of how you want to handle it. Get some allies, like get some friends who surround him, split it up, go in early before, like obviously it, like you have to have allies that have, well, either skill or a correct build or matchup so that they can fight Lemuria without sacrificing too much, right? So Atlantis is a great matchup. Pan, I think, is also a good matchup. He had good Astral Mages and Holy Threes, so he seemed to be doing all right. And I had a good matchup because of my Sacreds and my Bless and just my troops with Death Magic, so Etimu wasn't such a big deal. So neither of, I think any one of us that was fighting Lemuria could have taken on Etimu and his big army of ghosts, you know, and any of his other, you know, thuggy dudes. Especially at this point in the game, right? Because he doesn't have like any construction. He doesn't have good research. He can't. In fact, he has, I'm sure, almost no research. So his guys aren't really thugged out or anything. That's why it's so important to go early on and from many sides, right? Our guys were starving. We had to get our food item. But you know, it was easy for everybody to go in without too much of a logistics hassle, get the kill, you know, grab land. Everybody got a little bit of something, so everybody walks away from it pretty satisfied. Even if you didn't get the cap, I went for the cap. But like Atlantis, this was great for him. He got like a few extra provinces. It'll be more gems in the future. It cost him nothing. I think he's militarily active on the east, on his eastern frontier, so he's happy. He's just got some extra provinces. Same thing for Pan. He got some extra provinces. I think it cost him a bit of military, but hey, he got provinces for it. And then same thing here, right? Now it's trickier is if Lemuria does Diplo with our other neighbors to get us to, you know, be backstabbed, right? So that's what Lemuria has to be trying to do. But this was a pretty painless takedown of Lemuria. We really split the burden well. And the key was really going at like year one. Because if you wait until year two, then he's got like a ring of forts. He's got like actual large armies that maybe if he deathballs can actually challenge one of you. So going early, going together is just a great way to discourage somebody. And honestly, it's like, look, I get that a popkill nation and a free spawn nation can be fun to play. But it can be really salt-inducing to fight against that nation. And I feel like I'm sorry for the player who's playing this nation that we all ganged up on him. But I feel I'm not sorry. I feel no pity. You pick Lemuria, you're going to get murdered. Like, that's just, if you know, I'm not saying I would always, no matter what, attack my Lemurian neighbor, because a one-on-one isn't necessarily worth it to me if I can't guarantee peace from the others, right? Like if Lemuria had been free to raid and counter-raid me as I was pushing in here, maybe it would have been different. I still think I could have handled it. I had a good enough bless. This nation is good enough that I could handle little raids with Sacreds. But, you know, I didn't have to fight that many large ghost armies. I don't think they would have been that effective against me, but still. This would have been a different situation if it was just me one-on-one against Lemuria. But that's part of why this worked, right? Is that you get a couple of friends and then you go at it together. And I think you should always do this and kill those popkill nations right away, because now we can go on with the rest of our... I mean, look, we could fight each other now, but like it's not going to be such a pain compared to fighting Lemuria. If you let Lemuria grow, then it really becomes nasty, because you can fight a war against them to limit their... Like, let's say Lemuria grows, then they start conquering somebody else. You got to, like, go in, and you never want to completely conquer Lemuria. It's just such a pain to deal with. Anyways, so that is taken care of. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care.